Great. Well, welcome everyone. I'm Natalie Payne, and I am the Vice President of Sales for the Calliope Collective. And Calliope is a fairly new representation company. We started in January 2022. It is part of Preferred Hotels, just full disclosure there, but some of our hotels are not in the Preferred program as well. So we really do operate kind of as a separate representation company. I'm based in Charleston, South Carolina, and I am your go-to for any of these hotels. A lot of them, the reason that they hire a sales representation company is that they don't have anyone on property to handle this really important market, but they certainly do see the value. And so that's why I'm here. So I'm your go-to, I'm your resource. You can always start with me, and I have direct access to sometimes the owners, the general managers, the director of sales, the res team, and I'll get you to the right person that you need. So just wanted to, I've had this up here for a few minutes so that you can see all of our clients. So we have 11 amazing properties right now. And thank you for signing up for this one on the USA and the Caribbean. We do have some others on Spain and Italy and Ireland. I know some of you have signed up for those as well. So thank you. But just so you know and need anything, let me know. So I'm going to hop right in. I don't think Natalie, I thought the other Natalie from Nemacolin was going to be able to join us. I'll present that one last so that in case she pops on, she can present. But we'll go ahead and get started. So Calliope literally means beautiful voice, just so you kind of know where this brand came from, and it has a little more meaning for you. She was one of the nine muses in Greek mythology. She was actually supposedly the most powerful, but she was over poetry and music and the finer things in life. And that's really what we're selling to our clients in the upscale, luxury leisure market. And then I love that there's a Calliope hummingbird, and it's one of the smallest birds in the entire world, but they fly over 5,000 miles to migrate. So all of the hotels in our collection are going to be independently owned, not part of a chain. And I feel like we have to work harder to get the word out. We have to work harder to stay in front of our clients and say, choose us. We are great. We are amazing. So that's just gives you a little bit more about where the Calliope name came from. So we'll start with the Hermitage Hotel in Nashville. I was just at this hotel last week. It's one of my favorite hotels in the entire world. I actually used to represent this property. Some of you may know me. I used to work at Kiowa Island, the Sanctuary, and some other hotels. The Hermitage was affiliated with them for over 18 years. So this hotel has truly transformed. If you have not seen it in the last year, I would highly encourage you, if you are in Nashville, to see it because it is a new hotel. I will tell you, a lot of advisors have kind of written it off. They really needed a refurb. It had gotten pretty tired as far as public spaces and the room product, and it is stunning. Dee Patel has been there for 20 years. She's the managing director. She's worked her way up. She's an amazing woman, and she really, really drove the vision of bringing history, kind of into the modern world. They've brought back a lot of really beautiful touches from history. So as we step inside, let's just see where it is. First, it's a great location. There's a lot of new room product in Nashville, as you guys may know. This past year, Four Seasons, Conrad, the One, the Joseph, it's hard to keep up, but you can't recreate the history that this hotel has. And we're only a few blocks from Broadway. So here's Broadway. I can tell you with uh, certainty that it's only a few blocks stumbling distance at night after you've been out at the honky tonks and had a great time. But we are also near the Ryman Auditorium. We're near the Tennessee Performing Arts Center. The Bridgestone Arena. You can walk to the Titan Stadium. So it's a really, really great location. And as you step inside now, they've beautifully restored all of that hand carved plaster, all of the hand painted glass there in the ceiling. The veranda here on the right is where the ladies used to have their tea, and they used to have to wait because they couldn't enter many of the spaces in the hotel. It was only open for men, like the bar downstairs and things. So history dating back to 1910. The saying has always been meet me at the Hermitage. And so we've definitely brought that back. That's our hashtag on social. This is a step and a look into the new room. So this is our Hermitage suite, which is our equivalent of the presidential suite. And you can just tell, it's stunning, modern, elegant, really high-end finishes. You'll see these little pops of yellow all over the hotel. I love this story. in 1920, the 19th Amendment was ratified here, the women's right to vote, and the pro-suffrage forces wore yellow roses. So we've brought back these little pops of yellow as a signature color all over the hotel. So it's really kind of a neat fact. But this is a standard room. They're some of the largest rooms in Nashville. They all have separate tubs and showers. So just really, really elegant. And you're still going to see rates right now in the 400s, 500s. We have a book to get the third night free going throughout the year when it's available. It's not all the time, during peak, but you will find it going on throughout the year. So look for that. I'll send as a follow-up some of the specials that they have going on too. We have two new Jean-Georges restaurant outlets. So this is Drucy and Dar, named after the general manager's kids that he was the GM in the 50s. And so again, just bringing back some of those nods to history. This little window here is where the ladies used to have to get their drinks. They would order the drinks because they weren't allowed inside the bar. So we've come a long way, and this hotel certainly is very open to all different types of travelers, and we're really, really proud of that. This is the restaurant, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And then now we also have the Pink Hermit, which has kind of foofy sandwiches and pastries and rosé all day. And then they just opened last week for dinner. It's an Italian pizza, some pastas for dinner. So this is probably one of the most photographed men's room in the entire US. It dates back to the 1920s, very Art Deco. So really, really cool. And you'll see more women in here getting their pictures taken at the shoe shine than you will men. But the women were always like, what about us? So with the recent renovation, we now have a beautiful pink women's room as well. And equally, you'll see men in here taking pictures. But this hotel is very Instagrammable, really, really fun. And we have some itineraries we can share with you for Nashville. Nashville's not just for country music. It's not just for girls' bachelorette weekends. I took my teenagers there. We had a blast. There's a lot of history. There's amazing art and culture as far as that too. So if you have interest in Nashville, let me know. We can send you some resources. One of our newer hotels to the collection is the Estate Yountville, and this is out in Napa Valley. So Napa Valley is about 36 miles long, and we are really right in the heart of it. Very serene. Here we go. So I usually fly into San Francisco. It takes about an hour and a half, 2 hours with traffic to get to Yountville from San Francisco, but Sacramento is much closer as well. Just kind of gives you some other options here. Santa Rosa, Oakland. So if you've sold the Estate Yountville in the past, we do have a new owner as of about a year and a half ago. He's really fun. He's really vibrant. He wants to bring the property more together because it used to be kind of these two separate hotels, Vintage and Bellagio. So now we want you to think of us as really 22 acres, a resort in the heart of Yountville. I cannot say enough, location, location, location. You can walk across the street to French Laundry. You can walk to Bouchon. You can walk to so many wonderful tasting rooms. Handwritten is one of my favorite. Restoration Hardware just opened a new restaurant that's phenomenal. And they have a lot of local gems. So on the south end now, this is the hotel that's typically called Bellagio, and it's a little more modern, a little more kind of mid-century, a little more masculine feeling. Has a beautiful, both hotels or buildings now have a beautiful breakfast buffet in the morning that's included for your guests. And on the other end, it's a little more farmhouse feel. They have similar number of rooms, similar number of kings, and two queens, so we can help you kind of handpick what's best for your guest. And then the village that surrounds the property. We have two restaurants right on property and the V Marketplace here. We also have a villa. I think this is really the gem of the property. It's a 5-bedroom, 5-bath villa with its own pool, hot tub, pool table. We can get a chef in there if you'd like. But if you have 5 couples or 4 couples, this is really the way to go. And it's, again, just right in the heart of Napa. I was very impressed with the spa. Had one of the best treatments I've ever had. So beautiful spa to relax in. And then, as I mentioned, some of the dining, daily breakfast included. We have Bottega, which is a wonderful Italian restaurant on property, and Ottimo, which is more kind of a tasting room. They do cooking classes, but really it's the surrounding Yountville that has, I'm not sure how many Michelin stars they're up to, but multiple Michelin stars within the city of Yountville. definitely known for that. These are just some fun kind of Instagram photos of recent guests, but everyone that I've sent here, we've been doing complimentary rosé all summer. That lasts, I believe, through August. So when you check in, you get a complimentary bottle of rosé. You'll see, the weekly newsletter that your guests will get when they check in. So I wanted to mention, I didn't have a picture in there, but hot air ballooning is huge in this area, and the balloons leave right from our hotel. So you can wake up in the morning, 5:30ish, and do a sunrise hot air balloon over Napa. We also have a big wine club, so our guests become members of the wine club, and you get discounts at multiple wineries in the area. You get preferred tasting times and things like that, discounts if you want to buy wine. So definitely keep that in mind for Yountville. Moving to Pink Sands, if y'all have any questions, go ahead. I didn't know if there was a question. I was going to say, if you happen to have questions, if you could put them in the chat or save till the end, I'll answer any questions quickly so we can keep moving. We just have a good bit to cover. So 2 more properties here. So Pink Sands is Harbour Island. So we're moving down to the Bahamas now. And if you've been to the Bahamas, you may have been to, say, the Atlantis or Baha Mar. This is the antithesis of those properties. So we are a tiny little 3-mile long, half-mile wide island. It's a little bit very upscale, I don't want to say elite, but it's barefoot luxury. Many yachts come here. So I spent half the day walking around looking at the mega yachts and kind of talking to some of the crew. But it's a really, really special island, just to show you here where we are. So you fly into Eleuthera from Miami. It's a 45-minute flight to Eleuthera. I know Silver Airways is just adding a new direct flight from Orlando as well, but there are a good many direct flights right into Eleuthera. And then this is their massive international airport. I say that sarcastically. It takes very little time to go through customs. And then we have a service that's not very much additional, where the bellman can greet your guest. They'll take a taxi to the water taxi, and then it's about a 20-minute water taxi over to the island, and then a short taxi to the hotel. So all in all, it takes about 30-40 minutes. It's a really, really easy. But as I mentioned, it's 3 miles long, a half-mile wide. You really want to have a golf cart. That's the way to get around, or bike. And so we can certainly help you rent golf carts, but it's fun. They do drive on the left. So you kind of have to watch out. I had almost a few head-on collisions. But this is why people go to Harbour Island. It has probably the most beautiful pink sand beach in the entire world. It is so soft, so pristine. You can just see the red coral running through it. And then the contrast with that water is just gorgeous. There's no boat traffic in front of the hotel because there's actually a reef out here. So you can paddleboard, you can kayak, you can snorkel right there off the coast. And a lot of people do come to Harbour Island to snorkel and scuba dive because the water's so clear. And there are some really great scuba spots around. You can ride horses right on the beach. It's right there at the property. So horseback ride in the water is kind of the quintessential thing that everybody wants to do. Pink Sands has been around since 1951, so a lot of people would recognize this as the entrance, which they've kept as a nod to history. We do have kind of a British colonial open air lobby and public space area, and this is what you're greeted with when you arrive, those huge Bahamian smiles. The staff is so kind, they're so sweet, they're so willing and eager to serve. Pink Sands has undergone renovation over the past 2-3 years. We've redone all the villas, and we continue to build villas. So right now we are 27 units, 1 to 4 bedrooms. So there's no hotel product. It's all individual villas. We have the most oceanfront inventory. We also have the most inventory with their own pools on Harbour Island. So just some visuals of some of those units to give you an idea. This is our blue bar, so they do breakfast, lunch, and cocktails. Great spot to have all of that. You want to be on the beach. However, we are building an oceanfront pool that is starting next month and should be done by December. We do have a current pool, but again, most people just want to be on the beach all day, or they're out exploring. Kind of gives you an idea how we're laid out. Our tennis courts were just resurfaced within the past 2 months. And I believe they're adding pickleball as well, really important for a lot of people right now. But as you can see, that British colonial feel. We do have a pool table room, and people just interact. I mean, it feels very residential. I probably slept the best here that I've slept in a really long time. I don't know if it's the sea air, the salt air, but really, really good sleep here. So we have the Blue Bar, and then we have Malcolm 51, which is our more fine dining restaurant. But on Harbour Island, to be such a small island, amazing dining. So we have access and can get you, the reservations and everything that you need. There's also 2 other hotels that are right next door. And so people go to different bars and restaurants, and that's very common on Harbour Island. We do have spa available within your room, and they just told me on our call this month that they're going to take a cottage and make it into a small spa. But right now, people have really enjoyed having treatments in their room. And then we also offer complimentary yoga classes as well. This is really hugely popular. I don't know why, because it looks terrifying to me, but people love to go here and swim with the pigs and get their pictures taken. And then on Eleuthera, I'm going to switch to Nemacolin now, but on the island of Eleuthera, there's a lot of history with Preacher's Cave and some areas where, the first settlers to the States and the Caribbean came. So on that island, people will take the water taxi back over and do some historic tours and things during the day as well. Let me just check. I don't think Natalie's been able to join us, so I'll move forward with Nemacolin as well. So this will be our final hotel, and it's a lot. So be prepared. I'm not sure if anyone's been to Nemacolin. So Nemacolin is in the Allegheny Mountains of Pennsylvania. You fly into Pittsburgh, and it's about an hour and 15-minute drive from the airport. Beautiful drive up in, as you climb the mountain. Nemacolin is named after the American Indian chief, Chief Nemacolin, who paved the way to this area and really settled this area. But I love this picture because you can see we're on about 2,000 acres, and it's just gorgeous. In the fall, the leaves, really, really beautiful. So that kind of shows you on the map. A lot of direct flights now to Pittsburgh as well, so the lift has been great. Morgantown is going to be the closest private airport if you have like private jets. And then we do have a runway on property for like Cessna planes. It's not too much bigger than Cessnas, but we can do helicopters and small planes on property as well. So to understand Nemacolin, you really, it's difficult if you haven't been there. So we have 3 distinct hotels. We have 9 homes and estates, and we have 40 2-bedroom townhomes. So there's a lot of different options. It's great for multi-gen. It's great for weddings. It's great for groups where you may have people that have different budgets. So we'll start with the Grand Lodge. That's where it all started. Down here, it was a little 20-room hunting property that Mr. Hardy used to take his daughter Maggie to, and they would hunt and fish, and he bought it, and then he expanded it to about 90 rooms. So it's under renovation right now. It will be done at the end of August, and we're taking it from those 90 rooms to 56 suites. So I have some renderings to show you with that. Then the family went to Paris, and they thought, we love the Ritz in Paris. We love how it looks. Let's build a replica of it in Pennsylvania. So the chateau is a size and scale almost replica of the Ritz in Paris. And then they wanted to host a PGA golf tournament, the 84 Lumber Classic. They needed somewhere to house the 42 golfers. And so they built the 42-room Falling Rock, which is very Frank Lloyd Wright inspired, you'll see. So it kind of just happened organically that we have these 3 hotels, but that's kind of how it came about. We are owned by 84 Lumber, which is the largest privately owned company in the U.S., bazillionaires. Mr. Hardy, unfortunately, who started 84 Lumber and Nemacolin, he passed away on his 100th birthday this year, but his daughter Maggie still oversees the property, and she's very, very passionate about it. Just to give you an idea, 84 Lumber will probably net like 1.3 billion this year. This property will lose millions and millions of dollars because it is a passion project. It is, where they just they love it. They live here. We did host the Matt James season of The Bachelor, so a lot of people know it from that. If you Google or YouTube some of the dates, they did a really good job displaying the property for sure. So this is the chateau. So you come in the drive, it's a gated drive. All of the amenities that I'm going to show you are only for 300 keys. So During COVID, they privatized the resort. So all the amenities are only for the guests. So that's really important to know. There's never a problem with a chair at the pool. There's never a problem with a tea time, with a dining reservation, because they're only for your guests. So the chateau is 5 star. Beautiful, beautiful property. And it's stunning when you come up the drive. This is what you see up on the hill. The top level is butler service, so concierge level service. Again, great for multi-gen. You have a place to gather in the morning, have your breakfast or a cocktail at night. This is going to be our more classic room product. So really spacious rooms, separate deep soaking tubs and showers. Really, really beautiful, opulent. It looks pretentious and stuffy, but it's not at all. Last time I checked in here, one of our naturalists was in the lobby holding a massive boa constrictor. It's very family friendly. It's very approachable. They have live music at night. This bar comes alive at night. On one side, we have a great cigar lounge with tons of different bourbons and whiskeys and cigars up to $10,000. On the other side, we have our new speakeasy called Blue. So you're in the know now. They will not tell you about it if you say, where should I go for a drink? So you do have to make reservations and know about it. We have 6 restaurant options now. I believe we're reconcepting a few with the new renovation, but this is Le Trek. It's our fine dining, kind of more French tasting menu cuisine. We have a wonderful Bartolo Italian restaurant, really fun family style. We have a 1950 soda fountain. So, you know, a great local ice cream company called Millie's Ice Cream. So that's a lot of fun before or after dinner. And then this is the lodge. So this is what's under renovation that will open next month, and that will be the 56 suites. They've kept the original kind of Tudor facade, but as you step inside, it's going to feel very grand, very, again, lodgy, with little touches, you know, and nods to what it was in the past. A great fireplace that everyone can gather around. I love the new room product. There's a few different color palettes, but really fresh and bright. Some neat design features. All of the rooms are going to have these separate sitting areas as well. Pull out sofas. This is the new circular bar. So you'll be able to get full meals here as well from the steak restaurant. Just one of our villas. So if you have people that are interested in any of the homes and villas, let us know and we can, you know, specifically point you in the right direction with the right bedding and all of that. And then our Washington townhomes are really bright and fresh and kind of fun, all 2-bedroom, 2-bath. And then this is Falling Rock. So this is the 42 room over by the golf courses. So this tends to be a little more adult friendly, a little more golfer friendly. If you're familiar with Frank Lloyd Wright, his famous home Falling Water is about 15 minutes from the hotel. And so we actually employed his apprentice to do and design this hotel. So you'll see all the angles. That's really a big part of Frank Lloyd Wright's kind of signature design. And service is what I really want to say about that hotel. I got the opportunity to stay there a couple of months ago for the first time. I had usually stayed in the chateau. The service is impeccable. They have 24-hour butler service. Every morning your coffee comes at exactly the right time that you ask for it. There's warm cookies and milk at night when you get back from dinner. So it's really bespoke, really beautiful service. The Chateau and Falling Rock are part of most of your consortia programs right now. Virtuoso, Signature, Select, Preferred Platinum as well if you're not part of any of those. So you'll get your daily breakfast complimentary, your $100 resort credit through some of those programs. And then when the lodge is finished, we fully expect it to fall into those programs as well. Here's where they really shine. Okay, brace yourself. So we have 75 plus activities. We have 2 Pete Dye PGA Championship level golf courses. So the golf's phenomenal. We have a brand new golf learning center with simulator bays. So even I went here with my 16-year-old son when it was raining the entire weekend, and we had a blast. There's still so much to do. So you have the indoor golf, the putting. We have a 40 treatment room spa. The spa is phenomenal. They also have a separate holistic spa, so cryotherapy, red light therapy, acupuncture. But this spa, they redid this during COVID. It's really beautiful. In addition to the Woodland Spa, we have Wolflands Resort and Spa for dogs. So they have their own pool. They do doggy massages. They have their own princess suites and Steeler suites and themed rooms. So our owner has 8 dogs. So of course, you know, the kennel is also fabulous. We have 20 miles of Jeep off-roading. My son was thrilled that he could do this time, but it's a really, really neat experience. You go out with a guide and they really show you how the Jeeps work. Horseback riding, 2 15-hole clay target shooting courses. So you go around on golf carts. It's an amazing field club. We do fly fishing, some hunting, like upland bird hunting. We have a $50 million art collection with over 1,000 pieces. It's a private art collection. This is a Calder piece. You may recognize it. It's worth about $1.5 million. So we do have a really great art curator that will take your guests on art tours if they're interested in that. Kind of goes along with the architecture of Frank Lloyd Wright as well. And then Pittsburgh in general has some really fantastic art museums if you have somebody coming in for art and architecture. We also have places where kids and adults can design their own art. We have an artist in residence program. So every month we have a new artist that comes in and does plein air painting or wood turning, and our guests can interact. We have a wildlife sanctuary of lions, tigers, bears. Our newest is a sloth, and all of these animals they were saved. So, we have bears from the circus. The lion had a hip issue. He wouldn't have survived in the wild. So have really they're very passionate about saving animals, and the enclosures are gorgeous. One of my favorite things to do is taking one of the e-bikes, which are complimentary. So we have a fleet of complimentary e-bikes, and you can take it over to the wildlife sanctuary in the morning when the animals are really active. We do have a whole feeding activity that you can help the naturalists feed the animals too. So just so much to do for so many different ages. We have a ski mountain. So it's not Telluride, but it has 6 small runs, and it's great for families and kids learning how to ski. We just have these new snow-go bikes. We have dog sledding. And really in the winter, it's a year-round resort. There's a lot to do leading up to the holidays. Every weekend, they put up an ice skating rink. They brought in Johnny Ware last year to do some ice skating performances. They've brought in people from Broadway to sing Christmas carols, and that's all complimentary to guests. So the holidays are a really good time to come as well. In the summertime, the ski mountain becomes the longest zip line that you've ever been on. Really scary, but it's a great zip line course. We have ropes course. We have cosmic bowling, cosmic axe throwing. We do have a casino on property. If you don't want to see it, you don't have to. It's kind of tucked away, but it is an amenity great for adults, to enjoy at night as well. And we have 7 pools on property. Some are adult only, some are spa. We actually have a kids only pool in the kids club as well, so we don't want to leave them out. This is the new $13 million pool complex that they built in 90 days last year at the Peak. I was here for Memorial Day weekend, and the Beach Boys performed on the stage. So fun. So you're sitting in the pool or the hot tub, you're listening to great music, and it's open year round. So it's kind of an après, ski in the wintertime as well. So this is a really cool complex that most of the activities go out of. So that is Nemacolin, and good thing because I'm about to lose my voice. Are there any questions? I don't see any here in the chat, but if anyone has any questions, I'm happy to answer. Hopefully I didn't lose you.
No, it looks great, Natalie. Thank you very much.
Good, thank you. Hopefully you learned a little bit. We would love to see you on, one of the Italy or Spain or Ireland as well. But thank you guys. I'll follow up with the recording, and I'll also follow up with some just general information. Like Nemacolin has 15 itineraries that we've created to help you sell it easier, especially when people aren't as familiar with it. So thank you guys so much. Thanks.
Helpful. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.